What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Club 33 podcast with my juice box, Sky High Fan, and yours truly, DSG. I think this is episode 9? I can't even remember at this point. But anyways, Juice, I'll start off with you. How you doing this week, bud? I love the Mario hat, by the way.
Let's go. I'm doing well.
Doing well. What about you, Sky?
I'm chilling. I'm excited to talk some DSA with my boys, my boys.
A lot of cool things happening this week in terms of DSA. If you guys are wondering why I look so relaxed, I got a new chair, and that's how I'm gonna be all the time now. I'm just like, before I like sit kind of forward, now I'm just gonna sit backwards like this and just kind of enjoy. I need to get a cover for this thing so it doesn't lose the new pillow smell like a new car.
I'm gonna fall asleep on stream.
I possibly could. This thing is so much more comfortable than my other chair. Like I thought my other chair was like, okay, man, it's like night and day. But enough of my chair.
Yeah, sponsored by Secret Lab.
Sponsored by Secret Labs. But we have the new Sources Tournament leaderboards, and I was kind of surprised to see it come up so quickly because I think this is kind of something they were talking about like in the fireside chat, but I wasn't expecting it, to come so quickly, and it did. And I think it's going to be easy exploited. I mean, that's the bottom line for me. I think once people are like, okay, in my Source Tournament shard, I don't know, Sky, you're in my shard. Let's exchange wins and stuff like that. It's really easy to do. That's how I'm thinking about it. But it's only if you can really communicate with people. But for my free to play account, it's pretty cool because I'm climbing up there pretty easily. Not so much in my main account. But Sky, we'll start off with you. What are your thoughts on the Sources Tournament leaderboard stuff?
So the idea of having just leaderboards in general within the game is pretty cool to me. I like it, just having some type of just some type of competitive aspect that's like limited time. That's cool. This could be for a variety of things, not just Sorcerer Tournament. Could be PvP, could be raids, blah blah blah, a million different things, right? But the scoring system is just ludicrous to me, and there's a variety of ways to exploit it, and it really isn't indicative of like anything. Like you aren't even rewarded for being. Like, you're rewarded for being lower and spending less time in Sorcerer's Tournament. You're rewarded for dropping, and you're rewarded for colluding with someone in your shard. So, cool in theory, but I think the point system is just terrible. It's, really bad.
What about you?
So I opened up when I opened up the leaderboards for the first time when the event went live, I thought the layout was pretty cool looking. It was cool to see the overlap of all my friends and DSA community members that were in the same shard. It was cool just to scroll down and be like, oh, Truex Prawns in my shard, and there's Patrick, and just cool seeing all those people. So it's kind of like a small world to see like who you may be competing against. But yeah, I mean, right off the bat, like people are changing payouts. Like they're changing their payouts to get in their 5 attempts, change their payout to get a refresh on those attempts, and just allows them to get more attempts in one day. I know you can only change your payout twice, and I don't know what exactly is going to happen if you did that today. I'm definitely not doing that. It doesn't mean enough to me to do that, but I'm really not sure. Obviously, people are going to find ways to try to get more attempts in or do exchanges with friends and things like that. But as far as like competitive level, I agree with Sky. It's always cool to see that, and it makes things more challenging, and it's something to work towards, or if it's a goal, if that's your thing. For me, I don't know. I just want my gems at the end of every night. Like that's all I really care about when it comes to this. But we'll see. We'll see if how many people earn that number 1 spot a legit way, or if we start seeing like a potential backgrounds or exploits or things like that to try to get it. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But it just came out, and that's kind of my first impressions that we've seen so far.
I agree, and like I'm kind of happy, that they are giving out rewards and stuff too. Like I think the rewards aren't half bad. I mean, from what I've seen so far, it's very doable, and I like the whole like speed stone type of stuff they're giving out too, because those are definitely something that we definitely are gonna need. So I'm kind of happy at least that type of stuff is coming to the game because you guys know what it is to try and get a level 3 speed stone or any level 3 stone just feels like forever. So I'm kind of happy that at least they're doing that. But of course, you have to rank pretty high. But at least there's another alternative than just waiting for the event to get those things. So good job, Glue. Happy about that.
I mean, that's one final point. It's like, at least it's more rewards. Like, regardless of where you place, at least you're getting something. It isn't just like you're getting a little bit of gold and like maybe some alpha. So like, I think we're all on the level right now where we should be able to get a somewhat decent, not decent rank, but a reasonable rank to get some good rewards. So, it's not necessarily it's kind of a new game mode, but still it's, if we get more essences, if we get more betas or things like that, I mean, it's something. It's some way we can get some more stuff for free, which is cool.
Oh yeah, and that's that's the big part of this. But Sky, do you have anything else to add to this topic?
No, it's kind of sad. I just wish it was better.
True.
I'm not like here to like tear it apart or anything. It's just like I think about how the decisions I'm making, decisions other people are making to do well in this event, and it just kind of makes me sad that that's the case. I'm just kind of sad about it.
And I mean, I can see that because it Sources Tournament, it was pretty dull. Let's be honest, because once you get the certain characters you needed it, but it's not like you really need to do it that much. But now people are just going to exploit it in a way that we haven't seen before. But all I'm looking forward to, I want to look at the positive of it. The rewards. I mean, that's the biggest thing I can take. The gammas especially, and there's a lot of gammas that are actually coming out of that. So pretty happy about that, regardless. But
I'll make one point really quick, Dragon, before you move on.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's interesting, I don't know if we're going to see this. Like, I don't know if you all or you two are part of like a separate Discord section or if you communicate with other people in your shard. But I'm really worried about like people being respectful right now who like, all right, your payouts in an hour. Like, okay, like I'm not going to attack you. Like, so you get that number 1 spot. Like, that's how we have a separate Discord just for my tournament shard. And there's people like Janu in it, and there's just a lot of people that are part of it, which is pretty cool. And we're all really respectful, and like we'll even change defenses out if like for some reason you can't hit that number 1 spot or get top 3. I'm worried that this is going to change the game where people are going to be like, all right, screw you, man. I want the points. I'm going to hit you whenever I want. And it's going to be like, okay, that respect and loyalty just kind of went down the drain. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, but I'm kind of worried about that a little bit too.
I agree, because I mean that's definitely going to be the biggest concern. It's only been like hour 2 of it, so not too much damage I think can be done in 2 hours. But we'll have to wait and see how this pans out on the whole event. At least only like 3 days, so it could be I think maybe like a weekly thing is my guess, or could be something different than that. But moving from this topic, we just saw that the event for Lotso is coming back. I forgot exactly what it's called. The Toy Story Villains event is coming back. But
Sunnyside Daycare.
Sunnyside Play Date or something like that. Daycare. My concern is they're pretty inconsistent with these events now, and I think because there's so many, I don't know if the intern is like struggling put in the dates in or something, Johnny the intern, but yeah, Zerg hasn't been seen since October, and I keep on complaining about this. But it's because it's a big issue. I mean, how can you have this pretty iconic character, an event that I would say was fairly consistent before October, and now he's like almost nowhere to be seen. Like he there's no other way to. So technically you can get him in the premium exchange or the VIP exchange, but I'm not going to spend like 1,200 gems for 5 character tokens for him. No way. I mean, he's good, but he's not going to like change my roster overnight type of thing, Mm-hmm. So looking at that, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this should make like specific timelines, like, okay, for legendary events they're going to be on a roughly 60-day rolling period, and we're just going to roll them back to back, and then you're guaranteed to get Scrooge Money Bin heists at least once a month, and you're guaranteed to get the towers in this rotation every week, at least 2 a week, because that's kind of what we've seen. But I think, in my opinion, Glue needs to make that specific and clear, because there's no reason why Zerg's event is all the way over here and has not been seen, and these other events we've kind of seen them already. Like, I think Incredible since October we've seen them twice, and I don't know why we had that since they're farmable. If Zerg was farmable, totally different story, but at this point it just doesn't make any sense. So what do you go? I'll start off with Juice. What do you think they should do in order to fix this whole scheduling thing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're doing a little bit of a better job, like announcing when stuff's coming in the future. It's not so. I mean, it's kind of events, but it was stuff like ×2 gear drops or like a gem event like Coastal Conflict. Like they've announced when stuff's coming up a little bit, but when it's as far as these event goes, like I'm lucky I've had Zerg Gear 7 last year, like or not Gear 7 but 7-star. Like I would have never expected him to not come back as quick as possible because it's not like he's a really good character. He's on my main team now, but um he wasn't being played too much, especially after kind of like the Frozen meta and things like that. He kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
Then when G8 came back, but as far as event goes, I mean, the only thing I could recommend is like it seems like since there's so many events now, if they have like 2 events going at the same time, it gives maybe Glue more time to have more events rolling through quicker. I don't know how they feel about events like Incredibles and things like that now. It's like the whole team isn't that great. I don't think people are wailing on them. I don't even think newer players are wailing on them unless they just want to get the characters for fun. So if they have like Incredibles going on, like why can't they have a second event come out at the same time or even a third event, especially if these events have rolled out quite frequently. But yeah, like you said, Zerg's only farmable in that VIP exchange, and that's the value for those tokens is just excruciating. So I guess the only thing to think about too, which I just realized now, is like they did release that Zerg bundle towards the end of last year. It was like that $30 80 token Zerg bundle was a really good value bundle
Yeah.
in my opinion. If you were just like unlocking him for the first time, so I don't know if that's kind of a reason why they haven't brought the bundle back because they brought that back and said, okay, that could have finished off your Zerg or something. I'm really not sure what they're thinking, but yeah, for someone who has Zerg and has been using him all week, I'd like to see him come back because he's a pretty good. I'm enjoying him a lot on my team.
Especially since you got him geared tier 8. For
Yeah,
sure. But Sky, what's your take on this?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I always think that Glue's doing things on purpose, and sometimes I feel like they just make mistakes, and I'm like, no, it's malicious, But there's certain events, right? Like we were talking about the uh, what is it? It's the stone events, it's the
Mhm.
resource events, which are potions, runes, and gold. Um, and it's towers. Those are very consistent, and they have been consistent for a long time. We know we're getting each tower once every 2 weeks. We know we're getting the stone events once every 3. We know we're getting the resource events. What is it? Once every 3 as well. I could be wrong on a couple of those dates, but yeah, it's and the legendary events also are pretty consistent now too. So it's very interesting to me that they don't just make a schedule. Because what they could easily do is it could just be like they could have a pattern, right?
Yeah.
And the pattern could be just the event cycle. And they
Mhm.
could say, hey, these are rough dates, they're subject to change as always. But these are or they could even put no dates and just have a timeline, right? Like a timeline with no dates where they just say, hey, this is the order of the events coming. So right? Like that way they're not even committing to any dates and they say it's subject to change, so they could potentially change things around, like they could easily do stuff like that. And I don't know if it's a lack of like resources to be able to commit to things far in the future, or I don't know if it's they want people to forget about an event and then have to spend more resources on the event once it comes back because they were ill prepared. I don't know why they haven't done that because I think it would be something the community would really respond well to. Since they've started putting certain dates into the patch notes, like when they did money heists and double drops right in the patch notes the exact date.
yeah.
I think the community has responded really well to that. I think that's one of the few things in the past little while the community has responded really well to. So I think maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit with conversations, but I think a lot of people are kind of down on a few things Glue's doing lately, and I think that's a pretty easy fix for them to get a lot of good, just good feelings from the community, and
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in one sec Sky, you make a great point because like when you were talking about the double gear drops and the money bin, like there were people that were saving energy and then planning on buying the pass holder like during that time. Like they had a goal set in mind. It's like, hey, double gear drops is happening on this date. I'm gonna have everything ready to go as soon as that hits. And like that's planning ahead. That's exactly what we want to do, especially when resource management's so important, getting as much energy value as you can. Like that's big for an event like times 2 gear drop, which is probably, if not my favorite event that comes around, maybe times 2 character tokens sometimes, but times 2 gear is just so incredible. Like when you can plan ahead like that, amazing value. Sorry, Dragon, go ahead.
Oh no, no, I mean that's totally. I mean, I totally agree with that. And I think like earlier when you said Juice, they could do like concurrent events, like have the Incredibles and then have, I don't know, another event, Mother Goth will have them at the same time. That's totally
Yeah.
doable, because
they have done that a bit though, right? They have.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, they do it, but I would say like they could do like more of it because I think at this point we have enough events where you can do it.
Yeah.
Like I know I saw in the chat a little bit earlier is like Aladdin's another possibility that can come back and onward. Those guys are getting up there in age too, but I don't think any of us here are really looking for the Aladdin team because I mean, let's be honest, that event doesn't even guarantee you a 7-star Jafar, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like an event, the way it was done should guarantee you a 7-star Jafar, but it doesn't. You actually have to buy packs, of course. And the Onward event, I feel like they're gonna keep that on a very tight leash because they know what it does. The thing is, though, people will spend gems. So it's a two-ended sword where basically, people will exploit it, but they'll also buy gems in order to exploit it. So I think it's a win-win in all honesty. But there's those events that are, I think that one has aged well. The Onward event has aged well.
Well, you know why it's aged well, right?
Because of all the gear drops and all the gold.
It's because they removed gear requirements.
That too.
That's the big one, right?
I think they need to just get rid of gear requirements altogether, or at least just lower them to like, I don't know, gear tier 5.
Are they continuing to do that, by the way? Did they do that with Incredibles when it just came back around again, or no? No. Okay,
Like
I was
gear
curious.
tier 7 doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. But yeah, Sky.
Yeah, the thing about gear requirements is I would much rather there be a I'll call it a light gear requirement by the modes being too hard to do without having that gear, right? I would rather them make a change so that when you go into event, they say recommended characters or recommended level of characters, right?
Yeah.
And I'd like that to be pretty accurate, right? So there still is a rough gear requirement without there being a hard gear requirement. I think that's a much just healthier game mode because when I look at my roster, like I have tons and tons of characters that are, gear 6, 7 stars that I never use. Never use. I'd much rather have those at gear 5 and have different characters at gear 8. Right?
Yeah.
Make up for the shortcoming. I could choose how I wanted to invest in an event instead of being told how to. So that's a change I'd like to be made that I think actually wouldn't change the investment levels that much for these events.
I mean, I totally agree with that. And someone here at True said maybe they should add a journey guide just for character shards. The thing about Juice, I know you don't know what the journey guide is. The journey guide's from Swaga. Basically, all the legendaries are farmable. Like you can see the requirements at all times and you can get them. The thing about that for like DSA, that's not going to happen for at least like until they have probably 15 to 20 different legendaries, because these like little events, like for like Mother Gothel, for instance, they're not going to need those things. It would be nice to see the requirements for sure at all times, but that's why I guess if you should be active on Discord to see those, like, the sheets or the graphics that people make for them. But in terms of like, farming for them, it's really up to you, because most of these characters are what Sky would consider luxury characters. Like they're not necessities. Like it's not like you need them. I think there's other characters that are that need more time. Like you don't need Triton, but Triton's always going to be there. You don't need Gizmo Duck, but Gizmo Duck's always going to be there in that event. If that makes sense. But do you guys have any other thoughts on this?
I really like the idea of being able to see all the events, even if they don't tell you when they're coming back. I really like the idea of that. I think that'd be super positive.
Yeah.
I don't like. You shouldn't have to go on a Discord and to find the requirements, because we talk about this as a mobile game, and the percentage of people that go on Discords for this game who play it are pretty low, right? It is, we talk about the community and all that, but like most people just play this on their phone on their lunch break,
Yeah.
That's how most people play the game. And they'll, even if they spend a lot of money, they play it very casually. So it'd be nice for people who don't have the resources to see everything from the event, to see them. So I think that'd be a really good QOL update.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too, because if you're like exactly what you said, like if you're not on Discord, you're screwed. I mean, you don't, you kind of don't know many things, and I don't want to say Reddit's a bad place, but Reddit, you can get like into like many different ideas there, so that's just a whole different topic. But moving on, we got the 1-year anniversary of DSA coming up, and I thought they would have already brought Raya and the Last Dragon, because I know you guys, we remember them talking about it and showing the concept art for it during the fireside chat. I thought they'd already bring it out like when the movie was released, but maybe they're saving it for the 1-year anniversary or something like that. I'm kind of happy that they have calmed down a little bit with the releases of characters, because you could have been like right away, but just Hercules coming around. But Sky, you want to take it off first?
Yeah, there was a couple weeks ago now, I want to say, there was a thing on a Disney blog of some kind talking about how DSA is going to get Raya characters at the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we do know like last week of March is when we can expect the Raya characters to come.
I'm kind of thinking it could be. Do you think it's gonna be a squad of 5? Like, I'm not gonna talk about it, but I've seen the movie, and there's at least maybe 2 or 3 characters I can see that are going to be staples, but then there's also some side characters that you think they may throw in for fun too. I don't know. Like I said, I was expecting to see them a lot sooner. I didn't think the talismans that they released were going to be the only thing. I mean, we saw those come out as kind of like a, hey, the movie's out type thing. I'm like, there's no way it's just going to be this stuff. So yeah, buckle in. Very, very soon. I believe you. I believe you what you said, Sky. I'm expecting it to be very soon.
Yeah, with the 1-year anniversary thing, I hope they actually just do stuff. Is my thing. Like, so far it was really weird where they said, "Hey, we're putting stones into pass holder for the 1-year anniversary." That was like a really weird thing to me. I'm like, what? You're just I feel like they were just going to do that anyways to make more people buy it, because I do know people that have bought the pass holder this time because they were excited about the stone material.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think it was kind of weird where they just were like, and it's because the 1-year anniversary, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you guys just decided to do that because it's a good business decision, and you're making things as people need more resources and there's more characters. You're putting more resources out into the wild. It's a good thing, but it's not for the 1 year. So I hope they actually do stuff that will help both the whales and the free-to-play players and, us in between folk as well. That's just kind of my hope, is that actual, cause I've seen 1-year anniversaries for games like the mobile games be crazy. You get so much resources and stuff. So I just hope they don't disappoint, kind of thing. I hope they go all out.
I'm thinking it could be just like, mobile push notifications where you open up your mailbox and there's stuff inside. Like, I don't know. I'm really not going to get my hopes up for a special unique event or like some type of tower you're going to click on, tap on in the middle of your screen. I don't I'd be surprised if something like that happens, but I'm expecting some little celebratory gifts that come throughout each day or something like that. Where I don't know, a couple shards. I don't really know what to expect, but especially if Raya's coming out during that time, it could be just be like, here, hey, here's 3 Raya tokens. Here's a talisman. Here's an emote. I don't know. We'll see, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm thinking that they're definitely at least going to do some type of thing in your mailbox. Um, if they maybe release the bug bash stuff, maybe that's when they're going to release it for the 1 year anniversary. Seeing them possibly implement like a new mechanics or fixes or game mode would be ideal, but we're not. I'm not gonna put my bets on that one for sure because that's knowing Glue, it might be a little bit of a stretch. Uh, but 1 year. I think it's been a pretty good year so far. Maybe not the smoothest at some points, but we're going in the right direction, I think, and hopefully things start changing as the 1 year anniversary approaches. And I'm really just hoping that there's no legendary they just drop on us for the 1 year anniversary. I think that'd be way too soon at this point.
Way too soon.
But as next topic, we're gonna keep it really short, just for the sake of the podcast and everything like that. But I didn't know this, and it was brought to my attention. It hasn't affected my club yet, but I don't know about you guys in Chubby Dolphins and Ohana Voyagers. But apparently, people are starting to leave the game for different reasons. I think the most common being PvP. But what are you guys' thoughts on this, and what other like contributing factors you think are driving people to possibly leave the game at this point?
You want to start, Juice?
Sure. I'll try to keep it simple. I think Herc has been, if not the most single impactful character that has been released so far. That is just absolutely devastating on both a player controlled perspective and in an AI controlled perspective. What he can do when you're facing a computer or bot is just absolutely devastating. And it's truly showing for the amount of people that have spent money in this game or whaled in this game. Like, he is so dominant, and it's frustrating for people that may have whaled out on Mickey, who whaled out on Beast months ago. Those characters just came out. I mean, they're just a couple months old. And then the gear grind is still a lot, and characters keep coming out, and leveling up characters to 70 requires a lot of gold. As far as kind of, I don't know, as a whale perspective, it's hard to keep up with it. I'm not in that boat definitely anymore, and I can see if there's frustrations going on with just that Hercules team in general, or kind of seeing the same hybrid teams over and over, where it's just plug and play legendaries all over the place. It's just there's no variety or things like that they're seeing. And I guess aside from that, I don't know if people are getting bored of the raid, or just kind of what content they're doing every day, where you can just auto everything every day, and maybe get your PvP wins to get your chest and things like that. I know the leaderboards they just introduced is trying to spice things up a little bit, but it's just the same stuff. I don't know if the whales and the krakens need more content and more characters to kind of keep them satisfied, but at the same time, if they're getting irritated because too many characters are coming out at once, where they feel like they have to just keep spending and spending to keep up with the demand and keep up with their roster and things like that, it can be frustrating as well. So those are just a couple things. I'm sure I didn't mention a lot of them, but Sky, you can definitely take over.
Yeah. What I kind of think it comes down to is the weight Glue put on PvP. Right. We've had one like large. I'll call it. There's like things added like event towers and legendary events and a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of characters. But the only real content we've been given in the first year of the game is the raid, right?
Yeah.
And the raid is now 4 months old, roughly. Um, and if you are in a top 50 club, you're at least, if not even more clubs than that, you're probably pretty just coasting down the raid.
Mm-hmm.
People are doing some theory crafting still. People are finding new teams still, but at the end of the day, no one's worried about finishing heroic in these top 50 clubs, which is a pretty big percentage of the like active player base.
Yes.
So because that's stale, and it's been stale for a while, just because people figure out how to beat it, and that's kind of like the main content, people went to the most replayable content, which was PvP. And I think PvP was in such a great spot pre Hercules. I think it was actually in the best spot it's been since the game came out.
Hmm.
Uh, I truly believe that. And I think Hercules set a new tone for how a lot of people think releases are going to go and how they think just the power level of the game is going to go. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, myself included, didn't like it. And it's yeah, then what it comes down to is they put so much weight on PvP, and the community put so much weight on PvP for being the replayable, content. Uh, and it's just bad right now. It went from the best it's been to arguably the worst, in my opinion. So that's, I think, what we're seeing. Yeah, I think we're seeing how, like, even if people aren't upset about Herc in specific, they're upset about a release like Herc happening, because that's showing you that Glue is willing to release characters that are that like, I'll say, controlling and that insane, because it feels bad to play against Herc, right? Even if you have,
Impactful. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's people are unhappy with the release of this magnitude, and because they thought, like, I think the closest thing we've had to this would probably be Frozen, maybe Big Hero 6, but probably Frozen.
Hmm.
Um, and I think a lot of people were unhappy with Frozen, but it was like first release, blah blah blah, and I think people kind of thought we were past this. We saw Beast and Mickey both being great characters, Ursula too, but none of them were as controlling of the entire meta. And I think people were happy with how the releases were going. Yeah, so I think that's kind of my feelings on it.
Let me piggyback one sec, Dragon, before you make your point, because I don't want to forget it. I'm really worried about the power creep and how they're going to make characters stronger than Herc after this. That's what I'm scared about. You have a character that takes constant turns when other opponents gain speed meter. He counterattacks, hits for a ton. He's putting a offensive down. He becomes very tanky with protect. I don't know if they've changed the protection buff already. He's taking not much damage as he should be. And then the whole invulnerable with the taunt and the guaranteed crit and just dropping the pillar on your ass. It's just, dude, it's too much, man. It's like, come on. What are they going to do to future characters to make them stronger than Herc? And then what's that going to do to your investment like Beast? What's that going to do to your investment like Ursula? Like, God forbid, like, man, the next legendary that comes out is going to have to be stronger than Herc. How can you keep topping that? I just can't. It's a scary future.
I agree, and they need to nerf Herc. I know a lot of people are very concerned about PvP with the whole macro stuff and whatnot, and trophy dropping, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and you guys know this. I mean, I'll be honest. My club, we have to do our PvP stuff, okay? And I use a macro for 4 hours. I've never trophy dropped. I use the exact same team. I get about maybe 15 wins a day, and that's it. Or 20 plus wins. I don't know. I don't pay attention anymore. Sometimes I don't even do it anymore just because my club does it. But when it comes to the bottom line is I don't want to have to do that because I know it's not fair for people, and it's manipulated the whole idea of PvP. And but because it's a club requirement and because my club wants to achieve that to get all the club points you can get, we're kind of and between a rock and a hard place because we have I volunteered myself to be one of the people that helps get those battles done, so that's why I did it. But it's not the proudest thing to do, to be honest. My other concern is legendaries. I think they need to really calm down with the character releases. I mean, the game's reaching 1 year, and we've gotten almost double the amount of characters since in that 1 year. We're at like 113. I think we launched like 66 or 60 something like that, 62 maybe. I forgot. But these need to calm down with it. I think with remember when Beast and Mickey came out, that was too much. I mean, I think that was the first round where people were just like, forget this. And then I think the difference a week or 10 days makes is a big thing. I think what they should have done was release Sensational 6 and then release Hercules. I think they could have still done back to back, but I think that would have made it a lot better in terms of getting the community at least a separation from the newest legendary type of thing, and it would have made more sense in terms of flow since Hercules would have technically been the newest legendary. Should have come after Mickey, I think, in my opinion, but that's just a whole other thing. But like I said, don't want to like dwell on this too long, but there is people leaving for different reasons, and I think the biggest reason is yes, it's PvP, but I also think is just too many characters coming in, and also the gear grind is creeping up a lot of people too. But that's my thoughts on it. But do you guys have anything else to comment on this? No, we're good.
No, we can move on.
Yeah, I think more or less we covered it.
Yeah, but the next thing we're talking about is the survey. The survey, I was pretty excited to see it. I was like, oh, okay, what are they gonna give me? And it was pretty cool to see the characters that were in there. It was mainly gargoyles, gummy bears, or wait, not like gummy bears. I don't even know what they're called.
Gummy bears is right.
Oh, gummy bears. Okay, sorry.
I always put gargoyles and gummy bears as weakest because I do not want.
No,
I don't care.
Okay, to be honest, I was surprised to see the Muppets and gummy bears in there, because I believe, did Disney make a Lord of the Rings cartoon, or was that like a different?
That was a different.
That was a different company. Okay.
I could go on a whole spiel about that. I had to stop myself there.
Because
There's a lot to say about the Lord of the Rings cartoon.
Because if they're bringing, they have the possibility and the rights to bring gummy bears. I was like, if Disney made that Lord of the Rings cartoon, they could definitely bring them in there, because the gummy bear thing, I was like, there's no, like, I didn't even know Disney did. I was like, there's no freaking way. Like, when I thought about gummy bears, I thought it was like the Care Bear or something like that, but I was wrong. But the other characters I saw there was Peter Pan and who else? I think that's it, right? Inside Out, I think is the other one we saw.
Inside Out, Zootopia,
Tailspin. Okay, I missed a lot. DuckTales. There we go.
DuckTales.
Lizzie McGuire.
I wish.
No, I didn't see the survey. I tried doing it on stream, and the screen turned white, and I could never load the survey. So you're telling me all this for the first time.
White characters.
Oh yeah, the Snow White characters. Alice in Wonderland. Oh man, okay, I missed a lot. My bad.
Wreck-It Ralph. There was like Fix-It Felix as well as Ralph himself.
I didn't get those questions on my survey.
I screenshotted all. I'm looking at them right now on my phone. I screenshotted all the character options.
So it wasn't working for me when I was connected to Wi-Fi, but then when it went just on like my mobile network, it seemed to work. So I had no clue there's like some type of like firewall, like the thing they use like, is scammy or something like that. Come on, Glue, don't break my computer, man. Come on.
So the character I'm the most excited about in the entire survey. You ready? It's King Louie, Tailspin version.
Sure.
That's it, man.
That's what you.
I love King Louie, and his Tailspin outfit is awesome. He's like in like a beach outfit. It's sweet. Like, I would die for Tailspin Louie. Die for him.
I really want obviously Bing Bong from Inside Out, but they didn't talk about Bing Bong at all in the survey for some reason. But they're gonna freaking bring in these gummy bears, and then I would love to see not only Snow White. I just want the Seven Dwarves, to be honest. I just want the dwarves.
The Huntsman's pretty cool. I think he'd be a cool character.
Villain? Am I right? Villain? Or
he could go either way. Right?
I hope he's a villain. Just we need to buff that faction up.
That's fair. Yeah, he could be a villain easily, but then you could argue no. He'd probably be a villain though, I want to say. He's teetering the line.
He's definitely in the middle. But Juice, I know you didn't do the survey, but from like the franchise that we kind of discussed, which one would you like to see, or which specific characters would you like to see?
Yeah, I'm not in on the gummy bear thing. I don't really know those, to be honest with you. I kind of watched gargoyles when I was a kid, so like maybe some like Goliath or something would be pretty cool. Tailspin stuff sounds really sweet. Peter Pan. I mean, maybe we'll see a Hook rework. Pan Shadow may have better synergy with Peter Pan. I don't know. We may see something like that in the future. Maybe Smee or something.
Yeah.
Wendy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, all those sound pretty cool. Even Inside Out, I think I was just talking about that. I know. Anger's kind of the only guy, and even Jangles too. It feels like Jangles isn't part of Inside Out to me for some reason, but we may have maybe some more of the actual emotions take place. Yeah, I mean, they all sound kind of appealing to me. It kind of feels like we're kind of resetting from remember where we were at last year when we saw the surveys and things like that. It sounds like we're kind of we're doing the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that the survey last year came out in July, and that's like almost a year ago, legit, almost a year ago, which is freaking crazy. But it's funny because in the survey they still had Hercules. I feel like they had this survey set maybe for the beginning of the year or just before Hercules, and then they just kind of threw it in there.
But they also had Hades.
They also had Hades there too.
Was global launch, so I think they just wanted to come because they said most powerful, right? They didn't say you want the most.
True.
So I think that they're put in there to like, well, we kind of know how people feel about Hercules and Hades, so let's see how they feel about them compared to other people.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it was supposed to be more powerful, least powerful. I did it like who I want more, and one of these. Oh, really? Okay.
I kind of ended up doing that, but technically it said most powerful, least powerful.
I'm just happy that the Muppets are a possibility because if it's on the survey, it's a possibility they're coming to the game. I mean, let's be honest. So
yeah,
because Disney Heroes, Battle Heroes, they went into that game, and look who it is, Kermit the Frog. So I mean that watch Kermit the Frog be the power creep or like destroyer of Hercules. Oh, dude, with his freaking guitar, just sends like music.
Yeah.
But think about it. Where would Kermit the Frog? What would his faction be? I know, like just the whole Muppets in general.
Downtown Heroes.
Unfortunately, yes, that's probably going to be the.
Yeah, good point. No, the Disney Hero Battle Mode Muppets characters were awesome looking. Like I remember Animal and there was a Miss Piggy that looked kind of different, but she still looked really cool in the game for me. Like they had some really cool characters in that game. Cool Muppets.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of looked at some gameplay. I'm not too familiar with that game, but I saw some gameplay. I'm like, this is really funny that they actually have this in this game. Like, this is actually really
there's
cool.
a lot of them.
I used to play that game. I quit quite a while ago, though. And
yeah.
It was before Muppets, sadly. I would have loved
to have Muppets. That's honestly like, so out of all those guys, honestly, I would just for memes, I would want Muppets, but even bigger memes technically would be Gummy Bears, not gonna lie. But
I'm telling Louie.
King Louie.
King Louie from Tailspin.
I just think they need to make like a new tag if they bring in like the Muppets and like Tailspin in them, like maybe like a TV tag or something, or afternoon cartoon tag. I don't know, something like that. Just so, because they're all gonna like, because literally half the roster is already Downtown Heroes. You're gonna add more. It's just gonna.
Yeah, I want Gonzo. I want Gonzo.
Oh, dude, Gonzo. I would love Gonzo too. I want
Gonzo.
Rolf or Fozzie Bear. I would love him. All those guys. Swedish Chef. There's so many possibilities, guys. Just, I think they could do like a whole like 2-month release of just Muppets characters. That would be easily doable.
Wait, by the way, before we move on, looking back at the previous surveys, what were on them again? Was it Beauty and the Beast and Hercules? Like I know those were on the last surveys last year. Did they hold up to what we voted for? I mean, it's hard to, we don't see the results of those, but like, did what we see end up coming out?
Probably roughly, right?
I know we saw like Atlantis and all that other stuff too, and Peter Pan as well, but
because like Beauty and the Beast and Hercules are like obviously going to get a ton of votes, right?
Yeah.
Right, like everyone and their mother loves Beauty, and the Sensational 6 also came out since then.
Yep.
Rapunzel.
Yep.
What, Triton, Eric.
Yeah.
A lot of very prominent Disney movies that a lot of people are fans of are the characters they've released since then, and if they're doing it largely based on a survey, it makes sense.
But as time goes on, they're going to be running out of those marquee characters, and the memes will come into the game, and I'm looking forward to it.
want more jangles in the game.
The other characters from that survey that I can still remember are like isn't like Haunted Jack or like Zombie Jack Sparrow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
you need that for that's the 5th Jack we've been waiting for.
Jack, and what's it called? 101 Dalmatians. That was another one that they talked about, and they actually had Pongo in there too. I'm like, man, can you imagine another Pluto out in the field? That'd be so sick.
I want an all 4-legged dog team.
Because you can have Goofy, Max, Pongo. Is it Perdita? Is that the Perdita?
Yeah.
And I guess like for the dogs, I want the Colonel, the brown one, the Colonel. That would be a nice little addition. If you need like, all the think about it, for if you need like what's her name? Cruella, you could have like Pongo and Perdita, and you can have the Colonel. Horace and Jasper can be like Pain and Panic, and then like, I don't know, maybe take one of the humans. Exactly.
You're forgetting Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp, that's another one too. I forgot.
There's a lot of the list goes on.
But that was
We'll call it the Paw Patrol.
No.
Doesn't Kristoff summon that?
Paw
Right.
Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
And then have Sven let's have like a stampede, and just Sven just leads it, and then all of a sudden out of the dust you just see Mufasa coming out of nowhere. He's just in there. Now we're just theory crafting at this point.
No, I vision like a 101 Dalmatians spell. It has like all 100 dogs like run across the battlefield, and like they kick up smoke or something like that. And they know it's like, I don't know, maybe they put debuffs on or something. Like I picture that as a spell. They trample, yeah.
Kill your opponent's team.
Or they just lick
Or
they lick
blood.
the faces.
Defeat your opponent. Defeat
Right.
all enemies. That's the power creep we want.
But I'm just kind of happy you get these type of surveys, and that they relatively come into fruition. Obviously not everything come right away, but still waiting for you, Atlantis. I'm still waiting for you, baby. But
And Gear Tier 9.
I'm already looking for 13. Damn it, that's coming.
Gear Tier 9 next week. Let's go.
Do you guys have anything else about the surveys or any other characters or ideas?
I mean,
We're good.
honestly, I like the surveys. I think it's cool that
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
asking people. Like, surveys are great. They're great.
Especially when they're pretty diverse. It's not like, the typical like
How you feeling?
Brave. It's just not the typical movies we see all the time. It's like Tailspin and like Gargoyles. Like there's a lot of people that may not know those franchises, and they're taking a risk that people may not connect with those characters or connect with those franchises. But it's like they're kind of reaching out to the OG Disney fans, and like even the fans that are adults now who grew up with those characters, and those are most likely the people that are probably spending money in this game because kids don't get
Exactly.
access to their credit cards. So it's like, yeah, it's a little bit of strategy behind it too, but I think it works. But I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole thing with this game having an IP, right, is so people can make emotional buys. Like, oh, I love Beast. I'm gonna wail for Beast.
Yeah.
So them doubling down on that and being like, remember your favorite character from Saturday morning cartoons? Buy it, idiot. Like,
That's exactly what they're gonna do. The whole point of it, because I mean, would I buy? I don't know what Disney shows are out there. Like, am I gonna want Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, or am I gonna want Rescue Rangers? I want Rescue Rangers. That's how I think about it.
and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, that wouldn't happen for a variety of reasons, but the most obvious one being they're just the same characters, right? Like, there's
True.
no difference other than the animation style.
Because honestly, I said Mickey Mouse Clubhouse just because I can't think of anything like the new Disney little kid cartoons. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I have no clue what they are.
By the way, I wanted to bring this up too when you're talking about characters and buying these ones and like how this game's intended for maybe some older Disney fans. When I was trying to update my game in the App Store, when the leaderboards came out, I went to the App Store manually on stream and I pulled this up. I looked at the description while I was waiting for the game to update, and I didn't know this line existed in the game's description. It says, "Please note, this game is not intended for children, period."
Are you serious? That's
Did
what
not
it
know
says?
it's it. Yeah, it says this game's free to play, but you can choose to pay real money for some extra items, which will charge your iTunes account or Google Play. You can disable in-app purchasing by adjusting your device settings. This game is not intended for children. Please buy carefully. Advertising appears in the game.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, at least they're honest. And that's all I can say.
That's epic.
Yeah, it just made me laugh when I saw it. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't notice that at all.
I love it.
You guys have anything else? We good?
No.
We're solid, man.
Okay. Well, it's your guys' favorite time to embarrass me. So, Juice, we have Who Am I?
DSA, Who Am I? And I'm going to throw a curveball this week because you guys don't know about this yet, but we're going to be doing a new game today. We're not going to be doing DSA, Who Am I? I'm going to throw a little curveball. Hopefully, Dragon, you can get on the board here first. Yeah, let's take a break from Who Am I? I want to test this out, see how you guys like it, see if it works. And then if you like it, maybe we'll do it next week. We'll kind of alternate between DSA, Who Am I? Let's take a little bit of a breather from this. This game, we're calling it What Disney Tune? I don't have any audio recordings. This is how the game is going to work. We're going to do a best of 7. I'm going to be reading a list of lyrics from a Disney song. I'm not going to sing them. I'm not going to put any melody on them to make sure to hopefully keep it as challenging as possible. I'm going to read the line of the lyrics, and the first person to raise your hand. Actually, let's have some fun here. Let's get outside our comfort zones a little bit. Sky, you have to make up a buzzer. Think about a buzzer you want to do, and then Dragon, think about a buzzer you want to do. And when you're ready, let me know what it's going to be.
So I have to make like a sound that's my buzzer.
It can be like a boop, or it could be whatever you want to do.
I'm ready for mine.
What's your buzzer, Dragon?
Beep beep. Doesn't Baker do that or someone? The Muppets?
Meep. He says meep. It's similar.
Meep meep. Something like that.
What about yours, Sky?
I'll go bam.
All right, the first to buzz in, tell me the name of the song, and then if you can name the movie as well, you should probably be able to name the movie after that. Best of 7. Are you guys ready to go?
I have one
Here we
question.
go.
Yeah. We need the exact title of the song, right?
Well,
the ones I picked, the ones I picked for the first episode, shouldn't be too difficult. I didn't pull like old school songs. I'm not going to do that to you for the first episode. There may be some that are challenging. I do want to make it challenging as well, but try to get the whole name of the song. Maybe if you're off by like a conjunction or like I'll probably give you credit for it.
No, yeah.
Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. You can buzz out whenever you want, by the way, but if you buzz out early, I'm not going to read the rest of the lyric. Ready? Song number 1. What Disney tune? Here we go. Number 1. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far.
Beep, beep.
Legs are... Sky.
This is Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid.
Ding, 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 ding. Sky's going to take the first
mic.
point.
There's a lag on my mic. I swear.
No, there's not. Stop making excuses. All right, let me highlight this. Sky, you're going to be... what color do you want to be?
I'll be green.
Okay, just going to help me keep score. Number 2. Are we ready?
Yes.
Unbelievable sights.
Beep,
Indescribable feeling. Dragon.
A whole new world from Aladdin.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct.
Jasmine's line as well.
What color do you want to be, Dragon?
We'll go purple.
Purple. Next. Are we ready?
Yes.
Beef ragout, cheese souffle, pie and pudding en flambe. We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabernet.
I know the film.
I'll read it again. Beef ragout, cheese souffle, pie and pudding en flambe. We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabernet. Sky.
Be Our Guest, Beauty and the Beast.
Ding, 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 ding. The French
real?
words coming live. Good job.
I thought it
Sky's
was.
going to take it.
I thought it was the what's it called? The song that the chef does when like went with
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I thought it was
That's
that.
where I went to, but that's what I thought first.
Got it.
Damn it. Okay, what do you got?
Are we ready? Number 4. Sky's leading by 2. or 2-1 Sky. Song number 4. For one so small, you seem so strong.
Beep, beep. You'll be in my heart from Tarzan.
Oh my, ties it up. Dragon 2-2. Next. Song number 5. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within.
beep.
Once dragon.
This is from Pocahontas, right? What's it called? Man, Colors of the Wind?
I will finish the lyric. Do you want to buzz in? Sky, you want me to finish it?
Yeah, no, you're good. We Are Man. Movie.
Oh, shoot.
I'll give it to you. I'll make a man out of you. Good job. He'll give you
yeah.
credit.
Wrong word.
Sky's going to take the point.
Damn.
3-2.
Tranquil as a forest.
Damn, I should have
Yep.
known. Damn it.
Song number 6. If Sky takes this, he's going to win this first round, but we'll do the 7th one just for fun too. Number 6. You think you own whatever land you land on.
Oh my gosh. Beep, beep. Wait, is this Sky first or me?
Sky, yeah.
Colors of the Wind, Pocahontas.
Well,
Ring,
can
chicken
I get
dinner.
half a
Good job.
point since I said it before?
Let's do number 7 just for fun. Sky's going to take this round 4-2. Nice job, dude. All right, here's number 7 just for fun. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am. Bigger and stronger too, maybe. Sky.
You've Got a Friend in Me, Toy
Yeah.
Story.
Oh,
for a
dude,
second.
nicely done. Great job.
At least I
I
got
blame-
points on the
I
board.
blame working at Disney. That's it.
It's different when you're like reading them in like a straight voice, so it's like you're not putting any melody. So I don't know if that's making it tough. So, all right, guys, that's gonna end our game segment for today. That was What Disney Tune.
I
Sky's
like
gonna
this
take
one.
the first round 4-2, and maybe I'll have some more. Tarzan wasn't in DSA, so I forgot to mention that some of these songs may not be from DSA because Tarzan's not in there yet, but it's a pretty recognizable song. So, thanks for playing. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Chat, hopefully you enjoyed it as well. I know it's kind of too quick for you to participate, but who knows? Maybe we'll do something like this in the future with you guys. So, Disney Tune. What Disney Tune?
I like that one. It makes you think like in 5 seconds, and you have to make a quick decision. Because the other one,
Right.
it gives me time to like question my answer and like. That's usually where I
I'll start
screw up.
pulling. I'll pull some more. Like if we'll probably do this next week since you guys liked it, and I'll kind of throw in some ones you'll recognize. I may throw some like not super hidden gems in there, but maybe we'll throw some challenging ones. I thought because I don't pull like the first lines of the song. I try to pull like midway through the song that may be tough, like the second verse or like the bridge or something. Maybe the chorus, not the choruses, because they usually reveal what the song name is. So, I'll try to make it a little bit harder for you guys next time. So, thanks for playing. Hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, it's a good break from DSA. Who am I? It's a little bit less work on me too.
Nice.
No, I loved it. I that was a great idea. Good job, Juice.
Yeah. That was
Welcome.
But you guys have any final thoughts for this week? For this episode?
I do. I'll make one really quick. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanna compliment Sky High because he told me about a potential team to go for, and I went all in on it, and it's actually kind of working out. If you've been in the stream, you've seen it probably all week, but I went all in on Zerg. I got him to gear tier 8. I'm running a really kind of aggro all-in team. I'll just explain it really quick and explain why it's working and why it's not. The current team is Baymax, Hero, Gogo with a level 3 Speedstone, Zerg with a level 3 attack gem, and then Ursula with a level 3 Speedstone. And it's actually kind of working a little bit. It's kind of the cheese comp where Gogo goes first. She puts the AoE defense down. You upgrade Zerg right after that. He does the AoE passive that does a ton of damage because everyone has defense down. Then you snipe Baymax usually, one-shot him, then Rapid Ion Blaster to finish off the second character right away. And usually if you don't win within the first several turns, your percentage of winning goes down immensely. I am running level 4 Cauldron just because it synergizes really well with Gogo and Zerg to refresh all of his abilities, and then Cauldron or Headless Horseman level 4, which is working well as well. I tried using Golden Hammer, but it's just too defensive. You got to go all in on this team. You can't rely on Hammer to try to recover and try to stall the fight. It's working definitely better than my Elsa G8 or Bubbles team. Bubbles is terrible against her. He is so bad. So definitely took them out of my team. I'm running this team. It's not it's not a perfect team. It's not a meta team, but for what my roster is right now, and for me not wailing out on Hercules or even Beast, it's working somewhat. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I do lose a lot too. It's not a huge win rate, but it's a lot of fun. I was kind of nervous it wasn't going to work, but it's kind of it's quick PvP matches whether I win or lose, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So Sky, thanks for the tip. It is working a little bit, and it's fun to be using Zerg again. So I had to give you a shout out for that because you recommended that last podcast, and I was like, dude, I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you like it. It's a team that I really wish I could run, but I just don't have
Yeah.
Zerg. And it's kind of I don't know. I see it every once in a while, and some people I think are pretty smart have talked about it. Like Doodle Spork, I know was running a little while back. So I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, and just a quick thing, I didn't mention Ursula. Like she's in there to steal turn meter from hero to like guarantee the coin flip, because if Ursula's not stealing turn meter, then their hero's going to go right after your go, and then he's going to micro barrier, and then you can't even snipe anyone with Zerg. So it just ruins the whole combo. So that's why Ursula's on the team. And plus polymorphing Beast or polymorphing Herc is pretty good. You can get some value out of that too. And the AoE blind is amazing too with Ursula too. So the team is working. If you need any advice on it, let me know. But it's kind of a random team. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. So last point for me.
No, it's awesome that you found like a good non-meta team, because not everyone goes for or can go for the legendaries, and is with the power creeps and stuff. Sometimes it may not be the best investment to go for them right away. But Sky, you got anything? No.
I'm chilling. I'm gonna go live after this.
Nice.
Catch me there.
Yeah,
definitely rage ya.
We'll be talking stupid stuff as per the normal.
The last topic I had, because this came up in the My DSA journey that I've done recently, is Jessica Rabbit and like Roger Rabbit. Do you guys think they would come into the game? Totally random topic, just out of the blue.
that'd be cool.
I was talking with Pep about it, and he thinks that there'll be many people who would wail out for just specifically Jessica Rabbit, and she needs to be the legendary character for that team.
I mean, we all know that she would, if they were to have a legendary for that, Jessica Rabbit would be the end goal, and that would be the first time that Gear 7 was required for a legendary event.
Oh, no one would doubt it. No one would like question it. They'd just be like, "Yeah, take my money. Just I want my Jessica Rabbit."
I do. If we look at who plays this game, it is at pretty high percentage of the guys that I think would wail out for Jessica Rabbit. So probably a good business move.
Which kind of interesting, because it is a Disney game, and you'd think that like maybe more females play. We do have a lot of female players. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to be anything like that, but I'm just saying, in general, like there is like a lot of like guys that play this game. Not gonna lie.
No, and that's just how gaming communities and society kind of has happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of become a more guy thing for a variety of reasons.
But that's
I think an interesting point is like if anything that DSA has shown me when it comes to events, like the main character that comes to mind was like Cobra Bubbles. Like when they were announcing Lilo and Stitch, that tower, like I thought it was going to be Lilo, Stitch would be the final end of the tower, and then like maybe one other character. Like when I saw Gantu and Bubbles, I was like, wait, what? Like I was so surprised. So they can definitely be unique and like really pull characters that we're not thinking of. So to say that she's not a possibility is definitely, I think she could definitely be a thing based on what we've seen in the past so far. So let's do it. Let's get that cross cell shaded or animated plus live action stuff going on.
Also like random, but did you guys know that the actor for Eddie, is it Eddie Valentine? Is that the main guy in the movie? Is that his name, right? I can't remember.
Ooh, I'm not sure.
So whoever the detective is, he's actually like this British dude, and he has like a Cockney accent, which is like really interesting. I find it really interesting that he like was able to do like that old like 40s type of like accent, but then you go behind the scenes like footage, and he's like in his regular British accent. I'm like, this is so interesting. I didn't think he could pull it off that well.
I'm sure the IMDb page for that that movie is pretty awesome. I'm sure there's like a lot of
Oh,
like
yeah.
whoa, like mind blowing stuff, whether it's about the production or just trivia or Easter eggs and things like that. I'm sure it's a fascinating read.
Oh yeah. I mean, the cast for that was pretty freaking amazing overall.
Yeah.
Well, guys, there you go. We have episode, I believe, 9 in the books as we approach the 1-year anniversary. We are just so excited and so happy to see that we're actually able to make the 1-year anniversary, that the game's been able to be here this long. And let us know in the comments section, what do you guys think about the 1-year anniversary coming up, and what are your thoughts on the podcast overall? Let us know down below, and you can also always check out Sky and your stuff and links down below. Anyways, guys, we will see you guys in the next podcast. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.